Namaste, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be across the planet, around the world. My name is Gregg Prescott from In5D.com, and you're tuned into another episode of Spirit Chat. Doing another daytime one. It's around 11:30. Actually started just a tad later than what I said I would. So sorry about that, but tried to come on at 11:30. But here we are, so it's all good. Doesn't matter. I'm just getting everything synced up with YouTube right now, and we'll get moving here quickly. So, got lots of things we'll cover before I open up the chat room here in Zoom. Got some awesome family with us already here in Zoom. We have Alina, Bo, James, and Susan. And on YouTube, we got Vincent, Odyssey, My Cupcake, Diane, and people are just filing in right now, but we're not waiting. We're jumping ahead. Full steam ahead. So, I'm going to start out with our Oracle cards. And the first one we're going to do is from the Goddess Guidance Oracle cards, okay? And we're seeing some like repetitive themes going on. And what we're seeing today is Saraswati. And we saw her last week. Remember her with she's playing the electric guitar? Actually, it's a sitar, but she's jamming out. I think she's playing some Metallica right now. I'm not sure. No, I seriously doubt it. But she is jamming. And, what do you think of when you see something like that? They're out in nature, they're jamming, getting into, creativity, right? So this is what it means. She represents the arts. And below it says, express yourself through creative activities. So yeah, you might want to consider playing guitar or doing artwork or whatever it is that you enjoy doing. The message from Saraswati is, you are a limitless being. If it seems that you have time, money, or other restrictions, it's simply because your mind is focused upon the material world. You can unlimit yourself by lifting the cloak of the material world from your focus. Music is essential for the expression of non-material ideals and energies. Unless, I guess, you're writing a song about money. Music colors our surroundings with emanations from the highest vibrational fields. It allows us to escape all limitations in our thinking and very existence. Surround yourself in music and allow it to stimulate your own creative thinking and to spark new ideas. Flow with music and give yourself permission to investigate and experiment with putting your creative ideas into action. Enjoy being limitless. So yeah. Oh, that reminds me. I want to figure out what today's high pitch frequency is. So okay. It's a G sharp. Interesting. We'll look into that meaning in a few minutes here. Our next card, write that down, G sharp. G sharp is also an A flat. Our next card is a Spirit Messages card from the John Holland Oracle deck. And this time we have Soul power. The last time we had soul solitude, so we haven't had the soul power card yet. We do have that soul, like as in soul family connection going on. Okay, soul power. Always remember, you're a soul that connects with the body, not a body that connects with the soul. Your soul is your true essence, and you have an unlimited supply of soul power at your command whenever you need it. That was hard to read because there's a lot of red in there, and I'm colorblinded. So yeah, that made it a little difficult. This will be a little bit easier to read from here, soul power. You drew this card to be reminded of how powerful you are as a soul. Your outside physical world right now might be eerie and hectic, but you may be pulling away from what your soul is trying to help you with at this time. The answers you seek may not be forthcoming from the outside world, but wise wisdom and guidance can be found within. That's been a common theme too we've been talking about, is going within, especially with all this crap that's going on outside of us. You know, all these, you know, the mainstream media is filling us full of crap. And a lot of people are trying to answer these questions about the virus that's going on. And it's a lot of crap, as I'll be showing you later. Your soul will often try to get your attention through your dreams or those little synchronistic intuitive nudges. When you feel those, close your eyes, breathe calmly and deeply, and ask your soul for guidance with any situation you're experiencing at this moment in time. You may see a picture or a symbol, or you may experience a feeling or hear a whisper in your mind. Trust what you receive. Even if the answer is not immediate, your soul will know how to guide you at this time. Be open to its wisdom and honor how powerful the real you really is. I encourage people, I like that part, especially about dreams. I encourage people, if you do dream, to write your dreams down. Keep a dream journal. You may not understand everything that's going on with the dream journal right now, but chances are the more you learn about dreams and how to analyze your dreams, the more sense it'll make down the road. So definitely do that. We also have from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, we have the Knight of Swords. So what do you see here? You see this knight, he's on a horse and he's moving quickly, full speed ahead, right? Charging quickly. He's got the sword in the air, you know, pedal to the metal, basically. He's delivering something quickly, you know, and this could be just, you know, great ideas. Maybe you have a fantastic idea. You know, they say that during times like this, innovation skyrockets. So, you know, people are home. They're going within. They got plenty of time to do anything other than what they were normally doing at this time, which would be work. So maybe you have a great idea that's coming forward. So, you know, possibly think about that. He's leading. He's taking control of the situation. Moving forward, definitely. This is a guy that knows what he wants, or a female. You know, like I said, you know, whenever you see the card, don't worry about the pronoun. I'm saying he because it does say knight, but it's the person that knows what they want. They're moving forward. It's full speed ahead, and that could well be, you know, what we've been seeing with our previous tarot cards. If you guys remember, you know, we had the Magician, as above, so below. Things are going on in the Aether, in the Galactics, full speed ahead, right? It's continuing and it's moving. The ascension, there's no stopping it. That's the way I see that. Okay. I want to just remind everyone that's joining us, if you haven't subscribed to In5D YouTube, do it. Hit that subscribe button. hit the bell notification. And if you enjoy these kind of videos, hit the thumbs up and share it. Go to your, I've asked this before, and this is funny. Not really. Actually, it's sad. But when I asked people if they could post a link, I was going through all my profiles on my Facebook page. I went through about 3,000 of them, and then Facebook limited me. I can't look at any other profiles after like the first 3,000. So I don't know how long that limitation's for, but I figured, okay, that's enough, and I ended up unfriending a bunch of people. My last card, also one of my Oracle cards, was forgiveness. If you were one of the people, I'm sorry. Also went through and refriended a bunch of people that commented on that particular post. But yeah, I have, once again, I'm kind of like temporarily restricted on Facebook. Facebook hates me, but it's all going to work out in the end. And I'm sorry, once again, please forgive me if I had unfriended you, but it's just the way it is. I'm bringing on more people that are able to help me out in sharing this kind of material. And I appreciate everyone that does that greatly, because being shadow banned sucks horribly. I know I can see what I post and maybe a handful of other people, and that's about it. So to those of you that can help share, thank you. Okay, so I want to show you guys something here. Bear with me. Oh, here it is. Okay. So do a screen share. So this is in China. This is what's going on in China. This is interesting. Well, first of all, obviously they're over their coronavirus flu there. They have been for several weeks, even though they're making it seem like a horrible pandemic here. I'll be getting to that in a minute. But what they're doing is they're knocking down the 5G towers. How cool is that? Good for them. And no, I'm not inciting riots or for people to do the same. But yeah, we're finding out how harmful these things are. The radiation is way, way above normal. And we're seeing correlations of birds just falling out of the sky, dying because of this radiation that these 5G towers are putting out. So, I wanted to show you guys that. Okay, and on Facebook, I just posted today this video, Mockingbird Alert, what's really happening in hospitals across the nation. And it's determined there is no massive influx of people, what the mainstream media is reporting. In many hospitals, most are empty, and vigilante reporters across the United States are going into these hospitals with cameras. They're finding that most are empty. And while the mainstream media is telling us to panic, 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 fear, 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 that's just not the case of what's happening right now. So here in Florida, we have this executive order, as do many other states. I believe 39 other states plus Washington, D.C. have executive orders to stay at home. Of course, Washington, D.C., that's a city state, along with the Vatican City and London. Washington controls the world's politics. London controls the world's banking systems. And obviously, you know what the Vatican City controls: religion. It's called the Ring of Power. There's an awesome video called the Ring of Power. It's an abbreviated version of what the original was because they had to cut out certain parts due to copyright. And you could probably find the full length maybe on Vimeo, or if you did a search for the Ring of Power anywhere else other than YouTube. But even on YouTube, I think it's at least a 4.5 hour video. It's worth watching every second of it. So if you got time, which many of us do, and you really want to, learn more about how these three are connected and how far back it really goes, check that out. It's called the Ring of Power. And after I get done with this video, what I'll do is I'll put a link in the more info section to the longest video I can find of that. And so if you guys want to check that out, you can. So it made me think, okay, so we're seeing in these hospitals that they're basically empty. They brought these hospital ships in to New York and Los Angeles. Apparently there's nobody on there. But what everyone's saying is that these are to help the children who are being rescued from underground pedophile child trafficking camps that they have. So that's one of the reasons perhaps why we have this additional 30 days. I know a lot of people are not happy about it, myself included. You know me, how do I ground? I go to the beach. I'm not getting my beach, and I'm not happy about that, but I'll make do. I will, just like everyone else. So, you got to think, okay, if there isn't really this pandemic, or what I call it spamdemic, because it's a bunch of spam as far as I'm concerned. But if there isn't really this pandemic going on, what's really going on? Something else is going on, right? So we have that going on, where these kids are getting rescued and saved, and that's awesome. What else is going on? Now, we recently learned that the Fed was taken in by the Treasury, the United States Treasury. So is it possible that because of this spamdemic, they're going to have to burn all the money? Maybe, and that's what's going to happen. They're going to say, well, you're not going to be able to use cash at the grocery store, or if you need to buy gas, it's going to have to be a credit card. What they're going to do is to print new money. And this is my prediction. It's going to be gold-backed currency. It's coming to your town quicker than you think. The United States is going to be the first place to do it. So this is an incredible positive thing that's happening right now. And you can see all the different mints that we have here in the United States: Philadelphia, San Francisco, Denver, so on. They list Fort Knox, which has nothing in it. I don't even know what. The bullion depository. Yeah, right. It's more like a cricket depository. There's a bunch of crickets in there. But that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm feeling, is that we're going to that gold-backed dollar real soon. So it all makes sense why everything is happening the way it's happening. At the current time, many of us are not pleased with it, but you got to look at the big picture. When you look at the big picture, especially what's going to be happening much further down the road, it's amazing. So hang in there, stay positive. That's the main thing. Don't watch the mainstream media. Get away from the news. We're going to get through this, and we're going to definitely end up on top. So without further ado, I'm going to unmute everyone, and welcome to our chat. What do you guys think? Why do you think we have this extra, another 30 days when the hospitals aren't even, there's nobody in them?
I don't
Hello.
know. We recently had some here on the whole nation next to us. They're having, I guess, a big pandemic, right?
Who
So
is?
I've been watching the Navajo Nation next
Okay.
to, like, I live surrounded kind of on the edge of it, and they're having a lot of cases on their nation. I guess it was all spread at a church rally, right? So, going into town today, where they have their clinic, it's totally normal. There's people driving everywhere, you know. Now my thought was, I don't think we have 5G out here. Like, I only get 3G and sometimes 4G on my phone. So, I'm wondering, is it real? Like, is it really happening? Like they said, there's like so many cases at that hospital, or are they somehow part of it, a cover up, that could be going on to do all the nefarious possibilities? Or, is it just more panic? I really don't know.
How do you know that that's not just regular flu and they're just saying anyone that has the regular flu, they're marking down as, because the regular flu can catch like that. Anyone can get it. And they're marking down anyone that has the regular flu as having COVID-19 or the coronavirus or whatever. You never know.
I really don't. I just know they have their orders. They're on a curfew now. So from 8 p.m. to 5 a.m., you can't be out, unless it's like essential, whatever that is. But it's weird because I go over there and still activity is normal. I mean, it's not a high activity place to begin with, but now it hasn't changed.
Well, I posted this the other day. It's from Jimmy Fagan. And for those that didn't see it, he said that my mother died on the 22nd of March, 2020 at 10:55 a.m. She was admitted for a fall into a door jamb the day before. Her 83-and-a-half-year-old body couldn't handle it. I said goodbye to her Friday afternoon, the 21st. I signed a do not resuscitate papers and left. My brother, who just drove 7 hours from Georgia, was lied to and denied access. She was tagged as COVID-19, but died from her fall, a false positive that was coerced from a lie from the start. Yes, they are lying about it. And there's something else here. I had another one similar to that. Oh yeah, well, these were some images anyway that I wanted to show you guys. Oh yeah, the other one was this one from Candace Owens. She said the #1 killer in America is heart disease, over 1,000 people a day. Did you know that if you die from heart disease right now, and they determine you to be asymptomatic carrier of COVID-19 in your post-mortem, they legally add your death to the coronavirus death toll? And then below that, a response from Mike said, I work in medical examiner's office. Suicides and murders are being classified as COVID deaths. If they carry the antibody, it's a numbers game. And a sham. So we see a lot of crap that's going on in this. But on the positive, though, what we have here recently, President Trump has been making some spelling, what many interpret as spelling errors, but it's interesting because the last 4 spelling errors in order spelled pain. And anyone that follows Q knows that the pain is coming, right? So it's very interesting. So invoke P, there's the P. And here he was supposed to say over her head, but he put A in front of it. There's the A, so we got PA. Here is where he just had the word I instead of in, but that stands out for the I. And then this one, he's missing the N in alternative N. In order, he intentionally, people think he's a moron. He's playing 5D chess, and he intentionally had the word pain there. And I also thought this was pretty cool too. So we have Q as Q plus, which Trump is often called Q plus. So you have a picture of him next to these naval hospital ships. So you got Q plus. right? So that was pretty cool. Thought this was funny. Psychic fair canceled due to unforeseen circumstances. I thought that was cute. And then this, I don't know about you guys. Who is that? Tiger somebody? Who is this guy? Tiger. Anyway, that's all that you see right now. A coronavirus, Tiger, somebody or another. I guess it's some movie or maybe a show. I don't know. I don't pay attention to that crap. I don't go to the movies, but that's all over the internet. Coronavirus, The Simpsons, and this Tiger person. So, oh, I also want to show you guys this. These are the current, well, as of the end of the month, sealed indictments, right? That are going on here in the, Tiger King, thank you. Here in the United States. And apparently Tiger King is a show. Okay, I had no idea. I don't watch TV. But these are the current sealed indictments here in the United States. And look how many are in California. Almost 26,000. 15,000 in Texas. That's a lot there too. Then 9,000 in New York, 9,000 in New Jersey. But they are all over. Surprisingly, look at Oregon. They don't have that many there. Or some people say Oregon or Alaska. But yeah, 25,000. If you think also one sealed indictment may have 20, 50, 100 names on it. So we're looking at way more than just 154,000 people. This is probably closer to 3, 4, 500,000 people, maybe close to 500,000 or higher, maybe anywhere between 500,000 to 1 million or more people. It's a lot of people that are involved in these sealed indictments. So, big things are about to unfold. In a typical year, keep in mind that in a typical year, there's only about 1,500 sealed indictments. Look at how many more than that are out there right now.
But can you explain me why would it be sealed?
They're waiting right now to, I guess there's an order of operations that has to be performed, and they may be gathering information. For example, that Smallville actress who got arrested last year, and her boss Rainier, they may be singing. And so what's happening is they've already made arrests that have not been publicized, but they're getting information from those people. People are singing like canaries in this because they don't want the maximum sentence against them. So, they're getting more and more people, and that's why you're seeing more and more people are getting arrested covertly, and that's why we're seeing these numbers go up exponentially for the number of sealed cases. So it is in the process of happening. And as I said, on my New Year's Eve show, you're going to see a lot of these happen in June, or at least many of them will be going on or beginning in June. Hopefully we'll be learning about them in June as well. May not be until July or August, but they're going to be open in June. That's what I'm feeling big time. So, and that
arrest in progress.
Yeah, and all over the world, there are going to be arrests everywhere. So, grab your popcorn. Get your popcorn while you can. It's
I don't
happening.
like that. It stuck in my teeth.
Yeah, I'm just saying that metaphorically. I don't eat popcorn either. And this is pretty cool. Many of you are beginning to remember, or so I say remember your multidimensional origins and alternate lives in these tumultuous times. It will be your mission, fellow wanderers, to help humanity become a galactic society. So yeah, we do have help, and our galactic neighbors are watching. They're above us. We've seen this one going around. This one's been pretty popular lately. Yes, I'd like to report some people not living in fear. Well, that would be all of us, right? I guess this whole meeting is going to get reported. And then this one's pretty good. I don't normally pick up hitchhikers, but this guy's an exception. Hey, it's Phil Christopher's. No. Love you, brother. This one's good too. Friend, don't get your hopes too high. My hopes.
Oh,
Those are my hopes. Boy, my hopes are as high as they can get.
My hopes are high as shit.
Good, good. So anyway, sorry, I forgot. I wanted to mention that earlier, but here we are anyway. So there's a lot of exciting things going on. And I'm curious what you guys are thinking and feeling about what's going to happen this month. Why did they give us another 30 days, basically in 39 states across the United States of, basic isolation? What do you guys think?
30 days of isolation. I mean, it seems like kind of ridiculous if you don't believe the whole Corona Chan theory. But if they're going behind the scenes to do all of this stuff, and we have 3 days of darkness coming up, then so be it, so be it. If the charade's going to keep going where life is really weird for us going to town, and really weird to interact with friends. I've have friends, and it's like I have some friends like they don't come outside. It's like, hey, yeah, stop that off at the coffee can by my gate, because they're not even going to come like within hollering distance. They don't want to get it, which I understand, because if it's a real thing, then yeah, we don't want to spread it. We want to do our part and stay home, But I mean, is there a part where this is coming up where like we can't even go to the store, to where they're like, you will stay home by law unless you're firefighter, cop, National Guard, and so on. Do you think that point is coming up? That's what I'm worried about, at that point.
I just read an article on locally, a Florida article, and they were saying that they probably won't be enforcing that too much, especially here, because the COVID-19 and coronavirus rates here in the Gulf Coast, they're like nothing. We have 6 people here in Sarasota. 3 were from out of state, so they're gone. So we have 3 people. The odds of that happening here are extremely slim to none. I don't know what anyone else thinks. What do you guys think?
Well, I can say something that, I really want to enlighten people, like share our own lights. And in that regard, I would like to, what is it called? Perform like our private last talk Wednesday for Patreons. It was very familiar, cozy, and laughable. We had a great time. Thank you for that. And I think we should spread our own light and enhance our own lights in just not just our thoughts, but really our own intentions, not fucking society shit.
That reminds me, there's that meditation coming up tomorrow evening. So be sure you check that out. As always, I'll put a link for that in the more info section down below. James, you were talking about that 3 days of darkness. When do you think that'll happen? And what do you think will happen when that happens?
Well, listening to David Wilcock, probably got half of my information about it from that. What's going to happen? If people aren't aware of what's going on right now, and they're just living life and staying home and doing what they got to do because of what the world and the government is telling us to do. And this comes up, they're not going to know. So for 3 days, like nobody's going to have a phone. They're going to worry about their family, their friends. They're going to have no service to know what's going on in the world. Is there an asteroid coming? Is there, if you live in Florida, is there a hurricane coming? You know, nobody's going to have indication like that. Like, we'll have no communication. Nobody knows how to write a letter anymore, and that's not fast enough, you know? So I can picture a lot of people freaking out, really. I can picture that being something that actually, because right now everything's seems pretty calm. When I go to towns, the 2 towns I've been to, and I've been to 3 towns since this started. And I even went out of state at the very beginning. And I don't see panic going on. I mean, I don't see toilet paper on the shelves, and I don't see bleach on the shelves, and I don't see sanitizer on the shelves. And I see a lot of food gone, but I don't see any panicking. I don't see the riots in the early 90s that happened when homeboy got beat up by the cops and all that stuff happened, you know. I don't see that going on yet, but 3 days of darkness, people can't call their family. They have no clue at all what's going on. I can see panic starting then.
I don't know. I'm still not feeling that 3 days of darkness, honestly. I wish I went through and I listened to some of his Wilcox final video. I don't know if he addressed it. He didn't say anything up until the point of where I listened to, but yeah, I'm just not feeling that right now. I don't know. I hope I'm right. You know, I don't want people to go into that 3 days of darkness unless it truly is beneficial for everyone. I see that Gary has his hand up. What's up, Gary?
Hello, everyone. How y'all doing today?
Good. How you doing, brother?
Everybody, I'm sorry I'm here late again. I was actually eating breakfast, and I looked. Oh no, they're on again. I got to get on here. But I don't really have any heavy message. It's just that I think that the 3 days of darkness might actually apply to 3 days of news media blackout. I think what might happen is that the news media is going, you know, it's time for the people who have been misinforming and leading us around by our nose to be held accountable. And the first thing that has to happen is you got to shut down what's going on now before you can start something better, right? So what I think is going to happen is we're going to be at home and we're going to be with our family and our loved ones. And, you know, I'm not even sure if the telephone is going to go out in this country. I really don't feel that. I feel that we're going to be able to be in contact with our loved ones and know that everybody's safe. And then eventually we're going to find out, you know, the veil is going to be pulled away and the new world is going to happen. And it's just, hopefully we're going to, you know, Wilcox did talk about various things. One of his messages I got, actually, I resaw it. It's something from several years ago where he was getting the, you know, this harvesting is supposed to happen where, you know, the triumph of good over evil and, you know, accountability will be held. It's going to happen, but I think it's going to happen in such a way to induce the least amount of fear as possible because, you know, in my view, our creator doesn't want us to be afraid and to panic. He just wants us to understand that we're here to love each other. We're not here to be afraid of each other. And, you know, I think it's going to be 3 days of media blackout, but then after that's over with, there will be things different. Royal heads will have been, you know, we've all been talking about it. Jeffrey Epstein and all of his, you know, the pedophilia ring that has basically been running the world, you know, well, they're going to be exposed finally, and it's going to happen. They will be held accountable, but, you know, I really think right now I'm seeing all kinds of threads about people panicking because here in this country, for the first time, we're noticing that the military does, you know, wear uniforms and they do drive tanks and things like that, but they also drive big trucks full of supplies, medical supplies. I mean, look at what's actually been happening in the world. I mean, we're the ones that show up with all the disaster aid when something happens. And it's just really because our country has been blessed that we have 11 aircraft carriers, and each one of those can basically support a major city by itself. And what we've been doing is sending them all over the world to help everybody else. But now we're kind of bringing them home to help us. And I hope the populace understands that, you know, when you're talking about the military, you're talking about your sons, your daughters, your husbands, your wives, your children who have made a pledge to help everybody, even if it means a sacrifice of my own life. And so our military never really tries to conquer. We go in and try to help people. We try to help people determine their own path, and then we try to get out of the way, but it doesn't happen. But I just want to say, first of all, I love everybody. Let's all just take a deep breath. I mean, right now, everything is still fine, right? I mean, we have electricity, we have power, we have running water. When things start going to the point where that goes away, maybe then, you know, a panic is necessary. But until then, let's not bring one on by anticipating a panic, you know? I mean, let's just take it one day at a time and, you know, just see what happens, and just remember to love each other. That's all we're here for, as far as I know, and I don't know anything really. I love you guys, and I'll be quiet now. That's my 2 cents.
Like I could definitely see, you know, the media getting shut down, with the exception of, you know, just that the government run, you know, like what Wilcox said. I could see that happening.
Yeah, the EBS, the emergency broadcast system. Yeah,
on 8-hour intervals. Yeah, I could see that definitely happening. That would make sense. So it wouldn't be complete darkness anyway. Especially, how cool would that be if, you know, they started giving you real news, like, hey, you know, all these children, you know, 20,000 children were rescued from this, you know, underground base here, and another 15,000 were rescued from this base, and these, you know, traffickers were all rounded up, and these celebrities are being rounded up right now. You know, that would be cool. I'd actually enjoy watching TV once again to see truth, the vibration of truth, love, and light being broadcasted for the first time since television was actually created. So yeah, definitely that would be cool.
Well, the problem is that we have been filled with so much bullshit that do we even believe it if it's right?
Right? I agree. You know, got to use your discernment. I remember, you know, as a kid, I've put it on here before, but as a kid, I would wake up early in the morning and I'd turn on the TV and there'd be nothing on. You know, this is back in the 1960s when they weren't broadcasting, you know, 24 hours a day. But I do remember them playing the national anthem. But of course, I didn't see the subliminal message in there that they were giving us back then. And you can find that video on YouTube. Just type in national anthem, or Star Spangled Banner rather, and subliminal message. And you'll see they play it in slow motion. You can see how it says obey and consume, just like, you know, what Rowdy Piper had in They Live. You know, that shit was real in the 1960s.
Do you guys think that everybody in the world is going to find out about the children?
About what?
About the children
Who?
underground being rescued? Do you think maybe it's like 3 days of darkness is 3 days of grief as the whole world slowly finds out? Or if, I don't know if we even are all going to find out. I hope so. But I think there's going to be a huge mass grief when we all find out. We're all going to be crying.
Well, there's a lot of happiness too.
There's a lot of happiness too, of course, but you know, like, it's going to be really sad too for people to find out it's been going on that don't know that that's been going on. People that don't know. I mean,
right.
Like me, I'm happy because I've known for a long time, but like people that never knew this was happening, like, do you think I wonder if everyone's going to find out?
I'd feel bad. The ones I would feel the worst for would be the ones that were taken from orphanages and foster homes, maybe, and they have no place to go.
I know.
So they're released. They've been tortured, and they have nowhere to go. That would be hard.
Like, can we even handle this? Like, can people even handle it and take kids in and help them? Like, I wonder. Yeah. I could, and I like really might. If we're supposed to step forward and take in people and children, then I think a lot of us should, but I'm wondering if like everybody even will find out, because a lot of people like can't handle that, and they might freak out because of that and get angry because of that. And we should be angry anyway, but I was wondering if anyone thinks that that's going to cause an event in itself, everybody finding out all at the same time.
I think that's why we're all here right now, to help people adjust, to hold that vibration, to hold that space for them right now, and to welcome them into this space of higher vibration that we're holding for them to feel that love, to know that they're not alone, that there are people here for them that'll help them through it.
Yeah, I kind of feel like we're all waiting for this biggest part to, we're about to be needed, like in the biggest way we've been practicing for or something. But it seems like everybody is kind of calm right now, like just waiting for us to be necessary.
Yeah, we're in hold. We're in a holding
It's peaceful.
point right
It's
now.
so weird, like outside. Yeah, it's weird outside. I think
So-
people sense it already too.
Mm-hmm. More and more
Peaceful.
people, everyone's talking, and they're on the internet, and they're going to eventually run into somebody that's posting something like what we're talking about right now. And as crazy and fringe as it may sound, as you know, as if we should all be wearing tinfoil hats, they're at least getting the message. And we're doing basically what the mainstream media does to us. We're we're desensitizing the public to reality, the truth of what's happening. Just like the mainstream media desensitizes us to pedophilia and all this crap, we're doing the exact opposite. We're desensitizing people. So that's why it's so important, to talk about this on your social media, to post articles and videos about these types of events. That's why I was saying earlier, go on your social media accounts, post this video right now on there.
Have you seen me sharing your stuff? I've been sharing stuff like crazy, just spamming Facebook with it.
I love you. Thank you. And I appreciate that. And honestly, I had like 4,500 profiles that I had to go through. The ones that I knew and that I knew were already sharing, like you. I didn't even have to go on that page. And and Phil and everybody that's here, I didn't even have to check out. It took me 4 days to go through about 3,000 profiles. 4 days of pretty much, outside of spirit chats, that's all I was doing, was going through people's profiles and looking at every page. And you're the exception, one of the exceptions. Most people, no, I didn't see hardly any sharing of anything from In5D.
Thanks.
So thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
You rock.
Well,
Thanks.
I would like to, the anger part, right? We are truth seekers, and we are force runners, and we when we acknowledge that these sick truth were truth, we acknowledge it, we got angry, right? We have all been angry when we noticed that this might be truth, right? And sharing here the consciousness table, that anger is actually a step way to get to a higher level of consciousness, energy, frequency. So, and as we talked on the private In5D, and just to mention Gregg, that he couldn't imagine that the anger frequency was green. I would like to remind that it's lower green, but you need to be green to get above the water. It's like below the water. It's just below the water. Neutrality, we could say, is the surface. And we have a hero called Hulk. And we see him in the great movies, right? I don't know if you have seen what I think it was the Guardians of something that where Hulk couldn't get angry, and he didn't were not able to help the others, but the anger he still does a lot of stupid things, but he gets above his own energy like normal human, because usually normal human is below. We have a lot of desires and fears and griefs, which is lower than anger. So when you get angry, you actually get higher. You get higher in levels of consciousness, but it's still not. It's still below the surface of water.
Wait. I think if you get angry, you would have to learn how to process it first to move up higher. Just anger itself isn't going to allow you to raise up in that on that chart. You'd have to know how to process the anger.
No, because you are already in a much lower state. You are down in like desire and fear, which is like 50% lower. So when you get angry, you actually raise your vibration from where you are.
Well, I'm not saying that, but you were saying when you're angry, you can raise it from. Well, if you're already there at anger, how can you raise it without processing it first? You can't raise it from that point, from anger, any higher without processing it, maybe internalizing it, externalizing it, finding out the reasons and the roots, forgiveness and so on and so forth. And then
the funny part is that when you are lower than angry, then you are still not processing anything. You're reacting.
No, I get it. But what you said earlier, you'll have to go back and listen to it. You said when you get that to that level of anger, that allows you to rise higher. But no, I would disagree. I would think that you'd have to process it first. That's all I'm saying. I get what you're saying. All those things lead to that point of getting you to anger, and that does raise you up to that point. But from that point forward, you have to process it. You just can't remain angry and expect to go higher.
Of course not. Of course not. You can never remain angry. You actually go tired pretty fast. You use a lot of energy because you are not used to that. And I would also like to say that we have these chakras, right? Different wheels that actually has to be angry, like or to get raised. You can be low in voice, you can be low in heart, you can be low in desire, but but it's like a stepway. It stairs like the Illuminati we have heard, right? So to get higher, you have to get past the angry, and when you get above the angry and you get to appreciation and a lot of other positive words, then you won't be angry, right? You won't be scared. That's actually a thing that I have noticed now. I can drive around my bicycle, and when I hear a sudden voice, usually I would be scared, but I'm no more. No more.
Did you ever read about how a person over the level of 600, so peace, could affect like 70,000 or 700,000 people, raising the consciousness of like the whole like state you live in, possibly?
That's true. And I can tell you, it's the higher your consciousness is gonna get, the higher your your aura aura is gonna get also. So that and your aura is the area of which you inflict upon.
So we all should focus on reaching 700 so that we can affect everyone. And then if at least one of us is doing it in every state, then we'll help the whole world.
Imagine what's going to
That's
happen.
what we should focus on. Imagine on April 4th tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's going to be off the charts. I have a couple people with their hands up right now. Aya, you've been waiting patiently. How are you, Aya?
Fine, thank you. I feel guilty because last time I was telling you about the warnings from Paul Hellyer. Remember that Canadian guy? I'm not sure if I did finish the story that time, because I see you wondering about these 3 days of darkness. Yes, I did. I saw David's presentation about that, and I can tell you that as informed he is from his insiders, and so I think he messed up, because I do follow also. I don't have insiders, but I follow also other people who are familiar with this subject, and like Jordan Maxwell, like Stephen Greer, and he messed up. These 3 days of darkness have nothing to do with these days, what's going on. This is another game. The 3 days of darkness are the time when there will be that pole shift, you know, the earth poles, the north and the south pole. There will be shifted sometime, and then there will be these 3 days of darkness because of this shift.
So wait. So who's saying they're saying that that's going to happen this month?
No, they don't know when will happen, but the 3 days of darkness are related to the pole shift. SHIF.
Right.
Yes. And
So,
the other 3 days, I'm not sure if I told you when I was passing on the information from the Canadian guy, because you know I'm a bad introvert, and I'm not used to a public speaking. And I guess when I look at the recordings, I see how funny I look, and how chaotic are my things, because thoughts are going very fast in my head, and I'm trying to dress them up within words, and plus the excitement that I feel because I'm with you, plus that this is not my mother's language. I don't have whom to practice with. But however, again, to go back to these 3 days, which are going to happen sometime now within this game, as I believe this is the beginning of the end times. The entities that have been talking to the it's not the politicians really, is this Illuminati people, that 13 family that are controlling the world. The warning was for them, and it ended up like that. If you don't do this and this and this and this and that, which they didn't do, that the final cut of these entities will be, they will deactivate the whole satellites that are all over the earth, that are flying around the earth, and this will cause 72 hours out of internet. Means that they're going to destroy their old data of a Google system, the machines. So you can imagine what's gonna happen to the banks and all whatever, everything is related to the internet. So 72 hours is actually 3 days, right? So this will be the final, how to say, action they're gonna take if the elite will not do what they should. Obviously, they haven't done it. I don't believe they are gonna do it now. I see, just like you guys, opposite. They keep going the wrong way. They keep lying to us for everything. They try to go even worse to keep us under um, funny, how to say, um, our government, for example, doesn't know what they're doing. They don't have money. They don't know what they're doing. They just keep increasing the quarantine and being very chaotic. As small as our population is, we have close to none victims of that virus, and we are catching daily our prime minister in lies. But what can you do? They don't allow us to go from out of town, and you feel knocked up like it's a war, bloody war, just without weapons. It's a war on information. We are bombarded with lies, and that's not okay. Um, Also, what I didn't like in David Wilcox's presentation, when he was talking about that these 3 days will be for the man in black to knock and to do the mass arrest of these bad guys. Oh, for God's sake, I cannot imagine how this is gonna happen. Where there are these men in black, who was, I probably more can imagine and believe that. Uh, and actually, I can remember some of the Stephen Greer's lectures when he was saying that we are the ones who have to stand up and fight for our freedom. We are the ones who have to take them down, because the power is within us. We don't know our power. So I kindly ask you, go and do some research. Stephen Greer says, and that guy Paul Hellier, until they're on YouTube, their talks are out there. Just find them and listen and see what I mean, because all I have heard from these guys, them and listen and see what I mean. The picture really. All I have heard from these guys.
Hang on. Okay, you're good. Diana had her microphone on from YouTube.
Maybe I'm talking too long, because I'm trying to be clear this time. I'm sorry if I didn't finish that message last time I was telling you about that. And I'm pretty sure David have mixed up these 3 days with the other 3 days that's gonna happen much longer in the years in the.
Well, I would like to say you are
Time are pretty likely to happen sometime soon. God knows, within a month or two, or whenever, because these are the warnings from, I told you, from these entities, because they will see that the bad guy.
She's falling out.
Yeah, you're breaking up and stopping, and yeah. Now you're frozen.
What Illuminati are, they hate humanity. That's why they are doing this. Now they will try to put in play all the Federal Reserve Bank money. So what? That's why they involve the whole bloody world. I also listen to David Icke because he's a guy who, to me, are not only dot connector, but yeah, seeing the truth as well. And yeah, thank you for your patience to hear me. Thank you.
Well, thank you too. You are very, very loved here. I would say I think I'm not speaking just for myself. And remember that English is also not my mother language. And it sometimes can make it difficult to like process what like from the mother language to the English. So very, very well. You are magnifique, like we all are. You are muted, Greg.
Sorry. Yeah, English isn't my native language either. I speak through telepathy. But you know, on that 3-day, I've heard. I think I'm not. Don't quote me from saying this. It might have been Drumvlo Melchizedek that said that the 3 days of darkness. This is what he said years ago. Is when the pole shift happens. But what happens is the poles shift, and the planet stops its rotation. There will be 3 days of darkness for half the planet, and the other half will be 3 days of perpetual sunlight. And then the planet spins in the opposite direction. And if you go through, for example, ice core samples, or even the magnetics in lava, you can see that it has happened in the past where the sun rose in the west and set in the east. So perhaps that might be what the 3 days of darkness is. Also, there is power in numbers. And once the bottom of the pyramid unites, which is all of us, the rest will collapse. And that's what we're witnessing right now. Before I get to James, I just want to cover something real quick, and then I'll get to you, James, next. Okay. So I just
reminded of a quote from the Bible, and actually it says something like, the days would be longer if it was not for the light workers.
right?
Yeah.
So today I forgot, I said I would get back to this, but today's high pitched frequency it's a cusp frequency. It's in between a G and an A, which makes it an A minor or a G sharp. So what those are, so that's a cusp. Well, let me go here. So it's a cusp between the A and the G. So you're getting both the energies from the throat chakra and the third eye chakra today. So those, you might feel, you might have to clear your throat. You might get visions as well. The third eye awakens, speak your truth today. Today's high pitch frequency is in the key of G sharp, which cusps the throat chakra, encouraging us to speak our truth, and the third eye, allowing us to see what is hidden. This has the energy of struggle and strife. It's not a good day for confrontation. And you may want to consider postponing a confrontation if at all possible. On the bright side, if there's someone you need to call who hasn't heard from you in a while, call them. Or maybe someone will call you as you're thinking about them. And that involves your third eye. So yeah, that today is a cusp frequency of the third eye and the throat chakra. Also, I just want to just jump in real quick, and then I'll get to you, James. If you haven't already, check us out on in5d.net if you like this channel and the content that we're putting out. If you want to help support us, please check out these amazing shirts. As a matter of fact, I have new ones that I'll be posting tomorrow. I just made some more this morning, which is why I was a little late coming on today. But I got new ones of these coming out tomorrow. These are the 7 chakra shirts, which have 14 different chakra stones in the various dyes that cover each one of the chakras, on top of the 99.9% quartz crystal sand, which energizes and supercharges all of the chakra stones that are in each one of these chakra colors. So we have those. We have more throat chakra shirts coming out, and I've got more of these ones coming out. We've been selling these as well, the third eye crystal gemstone shirt. So got more of all of these shirts coming out, and I'll be coming out with more other chakra colored shirts, like the green, yellow, red, and so on. So be sure to check that out. And also another way you can help support the channel is through Patreon. And this is an easy way to do it. For as little as $1.11, you'll get alerted and notified of videos like this. So you guys are the first ones to know about it on Patreon. And you get your name listed on the wall of gratitude, and you can comment on these videos when I actually upload them. I'm behind on that. I'll get to it. Been really busy lately. And then for $5.55, you get all that, plus ad-free articles and the Insiders Club private chat, which we just had. That's held on the first Wednesday of every month. We had an awesome chat. And thanks to Katie, she wound it up with a standing ovation at the end. And then at 11:11, you get all that. Afterthoughts videos, exclusive mid-month energy report videos, and and there's just different ones beyond that as well. So if you want to help support this channel, if you like this kind of content, check us out on Patreon. That's patreon.com/in5D or at in5d.net for these killer t-shirts. And what a great segue this is to James, because you just ordered one and you should be getting it any day now.
Awesome. I'm stoked.
Yeah.
I'll go next week to the post office and check it out. Hopefully it'll be there.
Yeah, it should definitely be there by then.
Cool.
So your hand's up, I see. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were on the arrest of the human trafficking network earlier and talking about all of that, and I just wanted to show stuff if I could real quick. Let's see, how do I do this? Got it. So, for a lot of people who do not know what's going on, hold on. I can't get it to open up. Everything's in the way. Here, let me get rid of that and that. Okay, now share. So, as far as this pedophile network and everything going on, this is deep, dark witchcraft that Aleister Crowley talked about, and taught people, and so we see from like the beginning of the entertainment, we see it. And so here's some simple stuff that maybe people know or have seen before. This is Disney film with objects hidden in Disney. Dang it.
What? Disney? What is that?
Disney is the biggest,
right?
Child training program there is.
Wasn't Walt Disney a 33rd degree Freemason too?
Yeah. And the one okay, here's one, so there we go. Maybe. So if you can see that, that's part of Minnie's dress when Mickey and Mickey are going around. But when you look at it, it's clearly something different.
Something different.
It's
not a blue avian either.
Right? Not at all. Let's see. Let me get out of there. Got a few more. So here it is in The Lion King. If you can see that right there.
Yes.
I can't make it big for some reason, but
they also spell out sex and when they're sitting up on top of the mountaintop, or and you look up in the sky, it spells out sex also. So
yeah, here's that one. So these are modern ones, right? But you know, we know that in the late 1800s, Aleister Crowley was doing a lot of stuff. Oh crap.
Oops.
No,
But anyways,
I got to delete that one.
we know. I don't know, man. I clicked on a link. So here's going back to Shirley Temple. Weird stuff going on.
That's Shirley Temple?
Yeah. Shirley Temple films. If you look at it, you know, she did burlesque in the early days. That's how they presented her.
I'm not sure if we should be showing this right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want my channel shut down.
So it's a lot of weird stuff, and you can check it out on YouTube. Shirley Temple and what was going on even when she was a kid. They were doing a lot of weird stuff in the early 1900s with the first films, you know. And it comes from where? Hollywood, right? All this stuff came from Hollywood, you know. And the interesting thing about holly and the holly trees is that's where, you know, black witches are said to get their have their meetings underneath the holly tree, and they make their wands and stuff from the holly tree and such. And you know, we know Albert Pike, if people know him, you know, they were planning these things in the 1800s, and then we had, you know, the 1900s come around. We saw the evolution of technology. We saw Aleister Crowley, you know, talking to a gray alien, you know, that he called Lamb, that taught him stuff. He was teaching about, you know, the sickest form of magic, which is raping, molesting, and killing prepubescent children. You know, so to anybody who doesn't think that there could be arrests going on, and that there's something going on in this world, I mean, these people have, you know, we make 5-year goals and maybe 10-year goals in our lives for us to achieve what we want in life, right? But these people are thinking of their kids and what their kids are going to be doing. They're thinking what their grandkids are going to be doing. And they've been steering our society towards a certain direction for quite a while.
Hundreds of years.
Yeah.
That
and
is...
so what I would like to see is the end of this. I would like to see that all of this happens, that this is being unveiled, and that people are finally told, which is going to be painful. It's going to cause a lot of problems, because some of these are governments that have been doing this. So, but in the end, you know, if we can get rid of that kind of level of evil vibration, you know, maybe everybody else can start to vibrate higher levels, because there'll be less of that magic going on.
You look at all the abductions that have been going on, you know, around the world, especially at state parks of all places, you know, including Disneyland, Disney World. There's a lot of abductions going on there. You know, it's not surprising at all. And I do think we will see those people get busted for that, and the truth will come out. Real quick, I just want to give a quick shout out to I just got some super chats on YouTube, and I want to thank them. Aaron Martinez, thank you. Mary Andromeda, I'm surprised you're not on here with us, but thank you. And Kat, Aaron Davis, thank you all. So yeah, it's happening, it's real, and it makes you wonder about those, you know, 150,000 sealed indictments. How many of them are for child trafficking, pedophiles? You know.
You know, I did a lot of work at Disney when I lived in Florida. I did work, and there really is a Club 33.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't been beyond the door, but I can tell you I did structural modifications to all the buildings out there. And where that space is, there's something, but it's not the candy store next to it or the other store next to it. There's something in there. It goes somewhere. And Disney has, like, most of Disney, most people know, is underground. If you go there, you wouldn't know it, but there's so much going on underneath. There are tunnels everywhere. That's how a lot of the construction happens. And so it's highly possible that that's a place where kids have been, you know, having evil things done to them.
I would like to point my light on the fact that there are some, what can we call it, entities like or societies that actually knows the human consciousness better than we have been doing. So that now that's actually what we are learning, how our consciousness are working, and getting in front so that they cannot do this to us anymore, because now we are in the know, and instead of just being not knowing.
Blind.
Tamara's saying on YouTube, Disney cruise ships go to Epstein Island, or I imagine they probably dock nearby and they probably do scuba diving or whatever. I don't think they go directly to the island, but that's really interesting. I bet you they do dock there in that area. Wouldn't surprise me at all.
And one of the things that Jesus taught while he was here, he taught a lot of great things: be nice, share, help, forgive. But he gave a couple of warnings, like 2-3 warnings he gave while he was speaking. And one was, woe to those who hurt the little children. So if you're the opposite of good and you want to do evil, and you're satanic Luciferian people, what are you going to do? What's the worst thing you can do? That's the best for you. It's the best dark magic and all that. But it's goes against the whole thing. And we know that, our whole lives, people are programmed from the birth. We are the way because we are. And so we live in a fear society. So every year the world's going to end. Every year, something's going to happen. We go to work at jobs we hate. Why? Because if we don't, we're afraid we won't have food, water, electricity in the house, and I'll just be glad when that vibration's gone and we're living in a much more peaceful, loving, happy world where kids from a young age can be taught, instead of indoctrinated in a school system where they're likely to be bullied on, judged, unheard. They're going to be unheard, But we could live in a society where that stops, and we understand the importance of raising a child right. The ancient Essenes said, if you give me your child, I'll make, and I teach him, he'll never stray from the path of God, And why is that? Because we're like little computers absorbing information. And if we lived in a world, and if we were in 5D right now, full of love, joy, and peace, everybody could be a master at their lives, because from the early age, that would be taught. What's in here, we brought out. What's in that child, we brought out instead of squat, so that they can work in the factories and become video game junkies and not be fascinating themselves, just be a part of this system that doesn't really want all of us to be fascinating and magnificent and full of our own power. This system does not want that. It wants us to give them that power. You guys, here, we'll give you guys our power and take care of us. And was it Benjamin Franklin who spoke against that, or Thomas Jefferson? I can't remember, but he was like, those who give away their freedom for custody deserve neither, And
I think that was Franklin. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, on this whole arrest thing, I hope it's happening. People go down, Let's about wrap that up.
It's all good.
We can say let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor.
Well, one thing that is really gonna raise this consciousness is awareness, right? We need to know how this somebody calls it matrix works, and it's about cycles. And maybe you wondered why and how I could state last time that for a tree, a whole year, because you mentioned year, James, it's a day for a tree. And actually, that's because of a cycle. You see, the cycle is you when you watch out the window now, right? The trees are awakening. Like when we awaken in the morning, the trees are awakening, and it's about like 6 o'clock in the morning. Actually, that is Aries, and we are starting at the spring. The spring is where the trees waken up, right? And in the summer they are blooming, and wow, we have a party, let's go. And then we get to autumn, where they give their fruits, and look what I proceed, and look how amazing I am and magnificent. And then we get to winter, sleeping time, ready sleeping like the sun when it's December, right? So that is a cycle for the tree, is like a day for us. Morning, afternoon, and so on. Okay.
Going to take a quick peek at the Schumann resonance. Let's see what's going on here. And as you guys can see, there was a small blackout. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, but almost 12 hours ago. So around midnight Eastern time, that would be, and around 9 o'clock Pacific, about 5 o'clock a.m. in Europe, we had a mini blackout, maybe a reset. A lot of people interpret that black line as a reset going on. And then, bam, had some whiteout activity going on after that. We still have this, what looks like Morse code down here at the triple the Earth resonance number. 7.83 is the typical Earth resonance. And then we have the 16, we see the lines there. Something's going on at the 16, something's going on at the 24. Look at this. This is interesting too. All of these vertical lines going up and down, timed approximately the same distance as one another, going up and leading to that blackout. So
yeah, and I would say, is that seen before? It makes.
I've never seen anything like this, and then the blackout on top of it. That's a really interesting combination, isn't it?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if you look on, you usually don't. That's not the side you usually share. There's another one.
Right. Well, I just wanted to. I'm going to actually take a screenshot of this, and then I'm going to bring it into Photoshop, and we're going to do a.
The other one where you actually have the different vibrations. Yeah.
Yes. So it did peak. The amplitude peaked at, I think that says, I can't read it. It's very small. It looks like 48, 49 hertz right there, which is
well, what I'm looking at here, you see out to the right, and that is new for me. When some levels are going down, other levels are going up.
Like here versus here. Yeah. Nice call. Nice catch.
Well,
interesting. So let's try this. Hang on a sec. Let me bring that into Photoshop, and we're gonna go into it a little bit deeper. So I have a copy of the picture, so we're just gonna bring it in here, And we're going to zoom in and zoom in. That's what we're looking at. Hang on. Boy, that's fascinating. What's fascinating too is when you get to that point, I mean, something happened here, and then you can see this darker blue coming in right through here. And then this color picks back up again here. It's almost like this is one section right here. This is a second section, a third section, and a fourth section. And then you have, bam, you have that blackout right there, followed by a whiteout and a little mini whiteout, and then a bigger whiteout. Really, really interesting.
Well, I would say all three levels in the beginning where you mentioned it's like a gearing up point to the shutout, and then we start the next adventure.
Bring it on. I'm
Bring
ready.
it on.
Bring it on. I'm ready.
We're ready.
Yeah.
It's like
Really cool. Heck yeah.
Point to the shutout, and then we start
Oops. Lee, you have to shut down YouTube when you come on here, because we're like 5-10 seconds ahead of you here. We're in the future here. So when you guys are coming in from YouTube, you got to make sure that you shut down or mute the YouTube channel, or else we all end up getting that echo. So I'll unmute you and see if you got, yeah, that's much better. Good job. Thank you, Lee. So yeah, we were talking about, this whole pedophilia thing too. And these traffickers they will get rounded up, and we're looking at that happening. I think the big onslaught of that happening will be in June, although it's happening right now. But I personally, as a father, especially to a father of a daughter, I don't get it. I remember when my daughter was a baby and I had to change her diaper, I felt awkward having to clean her down there, and you would think that would be a normal feeling for any male adult, touching a child down there, and it should be. But, you have to do it because, otherwise they'll get infected and stuff like that. It still felt awkward, and, but yet these pedophiles they don't care. And for some reason that turns them on. We were kind of talking about this in the private chat about how we've been desensitized as a nation. And you look at a lot of these children that are 5-6 years old, they're wearing makeup already at that age, and they're trying to portray that they're much older than they are. Yet what's happening is
TV.
What's happening is that a lot of women are actually, when it comes to shaving themselves down there, they're going full shaved, saying that it's healthier, which it's not, number one. But number two, what is that really doing? That's playing into the whole pedophilia thing. You're looking like my opinion, you're looking like a 10-year-old prepubescent girl that is playing into the whole pedophilia game. That, is that what men want? I can't speak for all men. No, not me. But, I'm not going to say no either. But preferably no. But that's, I have to respect the choice of, what women want to do with their bodies. But in my own personal opinion, that's what it boils down to. Looking like a prepubescent 10-year-old. And that's what they're trying to push on us. I don't know what you guys think. Let me know. Am I crazy for thinking that?
I don't think you are. And I'll tell you what, you're right. It's not healthier. It causes ingrown hairs, causes issues in that kind of a region, because you're shaving and the hairs don't grow back out the way they're supposed to. And then you end up with really nasty looking stuff going on down there, you know?
No, I
But
don't.
now you do. But you're right. It is not healthier. It is a preference of vanity. And um, personally, I don't like the itching that it would cause. So whenever it came to bathing suit time, I always just said pair of shorts so I don't have to worry about it. You know, if that's the whole issue, because that is the big issue. You put a bathing suit on and it does kind of look gross. I mean, have a bush coming out, you know. But at the same token, you can wear something that doesn't show that, you know. A little more modest is not going to hurt, for my opinion, you know.
There's a friend of mine. I met her when I first moved to Sarasota. I would go to this local holistic store, and she was cashier there. And she recognized me when I first went through there. She's like, "Oh my God, Gregg Prescott, In5D." I go, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. I love your website." And she's like my daughter's age. My daughter's 25 right now, and she might. I think she's like 2 years older, so she's like 27. And so I would give her like a stack of business cards, and she would put them in every. When she was bagging up everyone, she'd give a business card to them, to everyone. I thought that was really cool of her and very nice of her to do. But the reason I talk about this is that she is, I guess, what you would call her suit. She has hair under her arms, on her legs, and I would assume everywhere else. But if you were to look at this woman, she looks like a model. She's absolutely beautiful just the way she is. And her and I have met at the beach, and we've hung out, and there's no embarrassment with me on my behalf being with a woman like that. Who am I to judge if that's her choice? I think I actually admire anyone who can stand in their vibration of truth, love, and light, being as different as we all are here, because we're all getting judged and ridiculed by everyone. Look at me with the hair. So many people come up to me, "Hey dude, do you have any rolling papers? I haven't smoked pot in years, but I look like I do," So yeah, anyone that can stand in their vibration of truth, love, and light like that, and be themselves. I love seeing people that can just be themselves, no matter how far out there they are.
Well, when you are on the topic, right? And I'm fucking honest, right? So, that in the old times, we heard that what was it? The Moses shit, where they cut the foreskin of men to something cleanliness because they couldn't wash and stuff. So you get cheese behind the and well, I was my foreskin is cut at like 2 years old because I had like a condition that when they had to clean it, and they tried to draw it back, it hurt like shit. I cried like, I don't know, because I was only 2. So, but there was something about cleanliness, and they did it in the old times, just to like being a kind of everybody.
It's a ritual. It's a sick ritual that they do when they do that to boys. Happened to me. I was fortunately not young. I was young enough to not remember how painful that must have been, but it's pretty sick. I didn't want to think about what they do with that piece that they cut off, because they're doing something with it. Yeah. So.
Well, amazing, right? Actually, I have another question. Let me remind. I was thinking about this. It was something about how many of us have been. Oh my God! Let me. I think about it.
Okay, Stoic Hand Grenade on YouTube is saying that piece that they cut off on boys, goes to facial cream.
Woo!
So I guess that there's a bad joke in there with facial and cream. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going there. This is a G-rated show. Okay. All right.
Well,
Maybe
I remember
PG.
now. It's like biting nails. You know, as a young child in distress and stuff, I was always biting nails, and I got beaten from my mother because she didn't want to listen to it. You know, how many of us have been biting our nails?
Not me. As a matter of fact, while we were on here, I was just trimming my nails. Yeah. No, I don't bite my nails.
Not me.
Anybody?
Nope, not me.
No.
Just
Not
you.
I.
You're the only person on the planet that does that.
No. I have. Maybe it's a Danish thing. I don't know, but I know.
We still love you, brother. Yeah, freak.
Biting your nails. Are you sick?
No, we're all freaky in our own little way, but at least we're not sick, freaky, you know.
I constantly nibble on my mustache. It's really bad habit. So there's mine. I nibble on my mustache.
Well, you have
I
to
heard
be
somewhere
old to
that
do that.
we actually eat, I don't know how many, it's like X amount of pounds of our own hair or hair in a year. I forgot what the statistic is, but it's at least, 16 ounces of hair that we eat in 1 year. I've caught myself eating and there'll be hair in my mouth. I don't know. Sometimes I'll spoon something in my mouth and my own hair will get into my mouth. And yeah, so.
And the funny part is that when you get hair in your meal, yeah, and you put it in your mouth, you detect it right away, right? And you try to pick it out.
I think there was some kind of flavoring. Was it otter or beaver or something? I don't know. That was used for raspberry flavoring. I'm looking it up right now.
What? Well, I saw Deanna waving. Do you want to say?
Okay. 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 That there was no truth in that. I heard about that, and there wasn't any truth in that. Thankfully, that's good. It was from beaver secretions or beaver butt or something. I saw that floating on the internet. Of course, I think the quote was from Abraham Lincoln. So don't believe everything you see on the internet. That quote by Abraham Lincoln. Okay, so anyway, yeah, moving on. See, we have some new people here with us. Franca, is that your name? Franca? Not speaking. I don't know. Anyone else want to jump in?
Well, just let y'all know I'm sitting here planting my garden for the end of the world. And I don't know what y'all are doing this morning, but I intend to eat, I hope, in a few months. If there's no more toilet paper, I can use the leaves. And, if there's no more fruit, I can eat it.
Hey, I got something I can say if somebody wants to chime in on some thought that I had.
Go for it.
Okay, so I don't know if it was in a dream or a vision that I had last night, but I had a dream or a vision, whatever it was, because I didn't really feel like I slept at all. I'm at work right now. There was a woman cleansing my feet with water. Anybody get anything from that?
A woman cleaning your feet?
Yeah, she was cleansing my feet with water.
Oh, that's interesting. Gotta think
You
about
know,
that.
they hated
That's an act of
they
divine.
hated Mary, Jesus's friend, because she cleaned his feet. It's the only thing coming to my mind.
Yeah, it's a divine act. She was honoring you, that's for sure. What was she cleansing them with? Was it oil? Was it anointing oil or was it water?
It was clear. It was water. It actually felt cold. So
Maybe it was vodka.
right. She should have gave me a shotgun.
I would like to point out that the feet are actually the end of the cycle. It's like preparing for a new cycle to begin.
Yeah, spring cleaning. You know, that could be. She could have been cleaning your feet for the next cycle. That does sound good.
Yeah, I like that.
I don't know. The only thing I told her was, "I'm sorry that my feet smell." Because I don't wear socks.
I don't either, so they can't stink. I don't wear shoes that often.
Well, I'm at work. You have to wear closed-toed shoes because it's a warehouse. So.
Brandy, your microphone's really loud. Is it just me, or it's really loud? I know mine was kind of loud the last time too.
It's just my earpiece, because I'm not supposed to be on the phone or listening to your chat.
It's all good. It's all good.
Ooh. Phil, he's up for saying something. I know. I feel.
So what's going on with the Federal Reserve, man? Anybody got any news on them?
Well, besides it getting taken under the wing of the Treasury, and what I was saying earlier today about what could possibly be happening in these 30 days, they may just well be printing new money, gold-backed currency. How would that be?
You think they'll come out with a gold dollar like they did the gold $1,000?
That was actually one of my New Year's Eve predictions, is that we will go to that gold-backed currency.
That's what I
Gold
was
and silver.
thinking.
And wow, what a perfect time to do that with all these dollar bills that are in circulation that have the coronavirus. It wouldn't surprise me if they rounded up all the currency and told us that, it was getting burned and they're coming out with a new currency that is actually silver and gold backed, which would make sense why they actually brought the Federal Reserve under the wing of the Treasury. For once, the Treasury has control over the Fed. So yeah, it would make perfect sense.
Boy, the Dems are really freaking out, aren't they, about the Trump having control over that?
Sure.
Oh.
I'm sure a couple Republicans
like to
Mitt Romney is freaking out over it too, and the Bushes.
Do you know how the cycle started with the Federal Reserve?
Is this going to happen? Oops.
Oh.
Phil!
Hey, folks. Caught me. Sorry.
That's the first time I'm talking today. I say Phil. Phil!
Oh, like Norm on Cheers. Norm, Phil.
Yeah, but I don't drink that much anymore. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing good. I had a picture of you up earlier. I thought your ears might have been ringing. So
Well, actually, that ring in my left ear is starting to lessen a little bit.
there you are. You're hitchhiking. I normally don't pick up hitchhikers, but this guy's an exception.
Yeah, no, that isn't my staff.
Trimmed the beard a little too since then.
Yeah. It's gotten a little. Well, I try to shave the sides every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, I had a pretty good reading yesterday. A lot of arcana cards. major arcana. The universe, the hermit. That hermit's been coming up a lot. And also the
Wonder
emperor.
why?
Yeah.
Well, and what I can't figure out is why the emperor keeps coming up. So I had the the universe.
It's the veil, right?
Well, I don't know. You know, the emperor is a leader, one of our leaders. I don't know which one, but also had the Seven of Cups, which in the tower, the soft deck is a debauchery, and the High Priestess. So in the High Priestess, I would say this is a female power with, you know, magical powers. I don't know whether that fits any of the wives of any of the emperors that we've got around here.
But it does fit the spirit cooking lady. What's her name?
Oh yeah, yeah.
It fits her really good.
Begins with an R. I don't remember.
Oh, you mean that spirit cooking?
Marina Abramovich.
Abramovich. Oh yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah, that was an R.
I didn't know that she was still a thing.
Hey, did you get that video? I've been too busy. I haven't had a chance to check out your channel, Phil. But did you get that video done that we were talking about? And if you did, explain it to everyone.
Do you mean the Merkaba meditation one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. So basically, according to Metatron's key, we start off with the tetrahedron, which is a three-sided pyramid, and so that's your first sacred geometry, and that goes over your body. You know, it kind of fits like this, right over your body, and then we can take another tetrahedron and have it point down, and then you've got a Merkaba or a star tetrahedron, and then of course, you have to center your chakra channel, your spine, whatever, and have that energy going down into Mother Earth, into your heart to Mother Earth's heart. The next step is the cube that's around Mother Earth. Then there's the octahedron, which is around the sun. And then there's a dodecahedron, which frames the galaxy, and then the icosahedron, which frames the universe. And for each one of those, there's a star at the center of it. So you connect your connection to your Earth heart, and you connect that to the sun, and then to the galactic center, and then to the universal center. And this opens you up to, as I was saying in that meditation, all of the, everything. So source, the angels, the gods and goddesses, the elementals, it's all included within that framework. It's all something, this is the universe outside of you, inside of you. So it pulls it all in. And you use the Merkaba to go up and down in, it's kind of like a nested dolls, right? The Russian nested dolls. Yeah, so it's each one of those was within the other. So you can move up and down that column and connect to whatever you want to connect to.
Is that a guided meditation that's on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
The Tibetan bowls weren't coming through too clear. I'm not too sure what's going on with this mic or why it's not picking it up. But I did it the day before yesterday is when I did that one. I might do another one and see if I can't improve the sound on the bowls, because they were really loud here while I was doing them. But on the video, it doesn't seem like you can barely hear them. So I don't know what went wrong there.
Did you use Zoom or?
Yeah, Zoom. Yeah.
Okay.
And,
I have the Viking tarot, you know, tarot, yeah, Norse mythology, and I would like to read the Emperor to you because I think it's very important right now. It's the Emperor is Ullr, Ulra. He is more ancient ruler than Odin, of whom he is a splendid version. Hunter and patron of duels, Ulra represents the supreme character of organizer of creation. He took over the throne of Odin for 10 years. And the words are powerful and generous protector. He's the father, author, and he is the solver of material problems. And that might be why you draw that one.
Yeah.
I just had a reading myself and also had the Hermit, which is not surprising for either one of us, seeing how that's an introvert card.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, no, I identify with the Hermit pretty strongly.
Definitely. Yeah.
But it also fits the time, right? Because we're
yes.
all being sequestered. Either, well, we're voluntarily sequestering. Some of us have been mandated. And I got to thinking about that 3 days of darkness.
Mm-hmm.
More likely what's going to happen, I would say, would be that there'll be areas that'll get blacked out, you know, while they're going in and doing an operation. So that.
What kind of operation are you feeling?
Well, I'm getting, my guides have been telling me, yeah, it's going to happen. It's going to be, they're going to start rounding up at least some of these bad actors. Right now, it might be just the Democrat bad actors, and the Republican bad actors get to skate until it shifts the other way.
I don't know about that. I want to see Romney and the Bush family, and yeah, I want to see them.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, Bush Sr. was heavily implicated in JFK's assassination.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think that he should be able to retire quietly. He should be spending that in a 8x8 cell.
Well, then
big black guy.
Bush Jr. Bush Jr. with 9/11, and then Bush's was it either brother or cousin who was the head of security at the World Trade Center. I mean, the whole family is incredibly corrupted.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I mean, Bush, the grandfather of Bush Sr., or
Prescott Bush,
was implicated in supplying the Germans with funds for World War II. So he was supporting the Nazis.
Yes, he funded both sides of the war. Yes.
Yeah. So this Bush family, I don't think we need it in the United States anymore. Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know about his daughters. I don't know about any of that, you know, or how they're acting. But if we take the example of Somerset Beliloff and her daughter, probably not too good.
Have you ever wondered what Trump actually knows, considering where his grandfather was within the FBI or CIA?
Oh yeah, no, I've heard that one before. Yeah, that he got to go through all of Tesla's papers and whatnot. It could be, you know, it could be that he gave that information to his nephew, and especially if he was around when he was going for the presidency. I can't remember that he was, but I don't think he was alive still then.
No, he wasn't. But there's no telling what he actually shared with his family.
Well, I mean, come on, the CIA, they're not going to share anything but misinformation, really.
Right?
I mean, really, I mean, this,
Yeah, I have to agree. I have to agree unless Trump's like I was and got nosy and looked.
well, I don't know. I mean, he may have been in with the Germans. I don't know. I don't know any of that stuff. I don't know where, but I just have an inherent distrust of any politician, and especially anyone that's in that high of a power place. Because ever since Kennedy was assassinated, they pretty much have made sure that whoever's running, they've got a control over them. So we've got a really big problem to try to take care of these people like Somerset Belloff, or because they're not even named. We don't even know who's controlling the Rockefellers and that other party, the Rothschilds. So, and plus there's 13 families. So these are just the most prominent families that we're focusing on, and getting rid of them won't get rid of the other 11 families. So yeah, I don't know. I think it's a big problem. I don't know that it can be handled in 3 days, or even 3 months for sure. So if they're going to try to keep us in lockdown while that goes on, they better have been busy from the beginning instead of waiting for the last 3 days. The latest I've heard now is Easter. Yeah, now they're saying it's going to happen on Easter. And I've also heard the 7th, the 10th, the 13th. The misinformation or information has been spilling out like crazy. That's what I would say.
Yeah, none of us know anything, so a lot of us are making a lot of things up too, and that hinders everything because everybody's fear speaks out.
Yeah,
Do you
well,
know that www in numerology, it's equal to 666?
Yes,
So
and
This,
the way it's written in the Bible for the numbers is for 666 comes out spells YOU for the Antichrist.
hmm.
So, any person can, in other words, any person, you, me, anyone could be, and that's all really weird when you think about it, how it spells out different things.
well, I mean, just like any one of us can be the Antichrist, any one of us can be the Christ too. It just depends on way your polarity goes, right?
Right. We're supposed to become more Christ-like every day, or the opposite of that would be to become more anti-Christ-like every day. And that's basically what our goal is, to become one or the other. And that's actually the only choice that we have, which one we're going to become.
Well, I would argue we don't really have any choice, because if you're going to go the other way, the Antichrist, then you have to be so bloody evil
Hmm.
to ascend that it boggles the mind.
Yeah.
Now, I know I've got a couple of that Somerset Belloff. If that is an actual person, I couldn't research it that well. But if that's an actual person, she could qualify as being that ultimate evil, really.
666 is a number of transformation. It's for me, I don't look at 666 as a negative number as people would say it is. It's more of an angelic number. So it's a programmed number which everybody fears, and that's where I'm trying to come out. Like, where everybody puts 666 as a negative number. It's a really positive number if you look at it more positive energy. So look at it as an aspect of, things are transforming before us, and we can't do anything about it. I mean, we can, but physically, I mean, us human beings, there's things that are higher than us that we have no control over. Things are going to happen, and that's where it is. So I like the number 666. It's an angelic number from my perspective.
Well, I agree with you.
I agree with that
It's
too.
got a lot of negative connotations applied to it because they do that. Anytime there's any a word of power, a number of power, or anything like that, they want to make sure you think it's negative, it's bad.
Yeah, like the number 13.
Everything gets reversed. Everything gets reversed with them, these guys. And so 6 to me, I mean, if you look at sacred geometry, 6 is the number of the cube. So it's got 6 sides. And
also the Lover's card.
Pardon? Well,
The Lover's card. It's actually balanced. Venus 6. Sex.
right. Well, I'm just going from sacred geometry here on this one. It's so the 6-sided cube. It's a really solid base. No matter which way you tip it, it's going to have 4 points on the ground. So 6 is not a negative number. So why is 666? You add that up, that's 18. That's 9. Completion. So yeah, no, I don't see it as a negative in any way. It's just something that's been, and this could be Crowley, actually, Aleister Crowley. I think he was always told that he was the beast, so he took on that, and he made that number prominent in that way. But that was just his twisted outlook on things, really.
Here it says the number 666 relates to the carbon atom and man. Carbon 12, one of the 5 elements in the human DNA, is composed of 6 protons, 6 electrons, and 6 neutrons, which equates to 666, and so on and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
There you have it.
But also telling it's bad, it's magic. They are gonna degrade our divine power. It's sexuality is a divine power.
It is.
What I mean it when I mention it for the first time as www was that among with the information, to the other hand, we have the mass disinformation, which is the big trouble now, because the media is full of fear. This is how they affect everybody now. This is the main weapon of attack now, by keep disinforming you, by keep lying you, by keep scaring you, and all that. I mean, I also know that 6 is a nice number, and all the other what just Gregg showed. I'm agree to that too. Also, I have seen a video about that third cordon activation of a DNA. So definitely, the things have the one side and the other side, and I believe that. See, we never had this kind of media information as it is now these days via internet, isn't it? So they are using this really now as a weapon by disinforming us. So how awake you should be to be waking up, so you can divide the information from the disinformation, to figure out the truth from the lie. Yeah.
Go in, within, discern. Yeah, that's been a common message for, especially, the last month or so that we've all been receiving,
Oh yeah, no. Centering, going for a vertical answer instead of for a horizontal answer is how I've heard it described before.
Grounding. Well,
centering too.
Yeah.
Centering within your, because we're running under the illusion that we only have 7 chakras, and that's just the chakras within our body, right? But there actually is 5 more that connect us to these, as Desi said, the higher entities.
And one below.
Well, I kind of look at the tetrahedron. So when you invert one of the tetrahedrons to create your Merkaba, that's connecting to the Earth star above and below, because you have a point down to the center of the Earth and another one pointing up to the top of the ionosphere. So this is like the Schumann resonance sphere of the world. So that's what they call the Earth star. So you could, that one, this 9th one, or the 8th one, excuse me, which is about a foot above your head, actually encompasses also the egg of that Don Juan speaks of in Carlos Castaneda's book, The Teachings of Don Juan. So it's that cosmic egg that is you, and also the planet. I mean, you're connected to all of this. This is how I see the connection in my mind. This is what I'm using. And I was trying to share it with you all so that you could use it too, because you can put anything in that framework, right? All things will fit within it, I'm going to say. Anybody have a comment on that?
Well, I can share, maybe if you look at this one, boom, boom.
Oh, yeah.
Well, we like pictures, right?
Yeah.
So there's there's more chakras, we know that, but I have also seen and heard others talking about we actually have chakras in between the 7 that we have inside the body.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, they talk about one that's back at the base of your head, right around your medulla oblongata, I believe it's called.
Yeah, exactly.
The one back there.
We also have
you have them in your
our
hands, you have them in your feet.
Yeah.
I mean, you've got chakras all over.
So
they're called meridian points in shiatsu.
Yeah.
So you've got them all down your arms. Yeah, you've got all sorts of meridian points or chakras.
And
the chakra, they're talking about a spinning wheel. So I kind of save that for the ones that got a spinning wheel up. The 7 that go have a spinning wheel up your spinal column. So starting at your root, your sacral, your solar plex, your heart, your throat, your third eye, and your crown. And that's all within your body. And I would argue that the others, if you're really good at energy work, are also within your energy body. So it's all within and it's all without. That's the basic gist of all this.
And that makes me want to make a gratitude, because I am very happy and exalted, because I look at planets and they can be exalted, right? And that you are all within me. Just letting you know, I love you inside of me. Thank you very much, everybody.
You are most welcome.
While you were doing that, Phil, I was sharing your YouTube channel twice on the YouTube chat. People were asking about, So they're asking about what your channel was, so it's out there.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can I ask you guys something? This is a bit off topic, but I got these spots. Can you see that right there?
Yeah.
On my arm, and this right here, and these here, they just are like, they'll itch, and I'll look down, and they'll be bleeding. And there's nothing biting me. I'm like sitting here, and they're just opening up on me.
Well, if you would ask me, I would say I would peel off. You know, like we have a lot of stuff we did like children, and we would always peel off what do you
Yeah.
call it, sorrows,
There's no
right?
scab. There's no scab there. It's like,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, there, and this one is like a hole.
Well, it's because underneath you have actually it's called inflammatory, I would
Look
say.
at that. See that bruise? I don't know where all this is coming from. I'm sitting here talking and I keep having to stop these things.
Maybe it has something to do with the Gans water you've been.
I have, maybe it
You
has.
should be
I
grateful.
haven't taken any today.
Well, right,
It's
but
because I
it could
haven't.
be
Careful.
it could be that you've got something that's glands or you have pores in your skin, right?
Yeah.
So if you get
Diane, go and
right,
look
so
into
if it's pushing
Louise.
stuff out, it could break that open, and that's why you're getting bleeding there. It could be that things are being extruded out through your skin.
It could be because.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not a could be. I know for a fact that is dirt. It's material inside the body that tries to come out.
Well, it can come out, but it can quit itching.
So anytime you break the skin, it's going to itch.
Yeah, it's
Diane,
taking the hell out of me.
Diane, I want to recommend you Louise Hay. She have how to say a table with graphics in which she mentioned in which cases what's happening because she figured out the mental connection between the energy, how every sickness it's born in mentally. So first my thought, to be honest, was about that water of Dr. Keshe you was drinking. You didn't drink today, but how many days before you have it, right? So how
This
do
is the
you know
first
this
day I've
is
been
not
exposed.
effect? By the way, look at Louise Hayes. Louise Hayes, yeah.
Let me write it
She,
down.
yeah, she have a nice guidance on
Spell it.
Louise.
Louise. Okay.
L-U, yeah, I-S.
Louise.
Yeah.
L-I-S-E. Okay.
Louise Hay, as in the Hay House books. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
H-A-Y or H-E-Y?
Hayes, I think, or Haye.
Okay. I'll find it from there.
Louise Hay.
Diane,
Yeah.
your skin is an organ, okay? Your
Yeah.
skin is an organ that purifies the body, okay?
So it's getting rid of all that shit.
When you're in the restoration process, your
Exactly.
skin is going to exude anything that it can that the body no longer needs.
Exactly.
Okay. Well, that's exactly what's taking place today. I
Yes,
feel
and
great, except for I've got these on my arms and they keep popping up, and I do know that I was treating for Magellan's 2 years ago, and
That's
I
what
had
I was thinking.
and I was thinking that perhaps maybe it's the residue of what was left of the Magellan's, because I got rid of a whole lot of stuff that was like that, but I hadn't been having that same issue any longer. So maybe that's part of it. Maybe there's some of that left, and and it's coming out too.
make yourself a salve and put a salve on there.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, thanks, guys. I didn't mean to change the subject so
No,
much.
This is
I love this subject.
But I'm getting a hit on. Go to the Edgar Casey site and look into the readings. He might have a specific salve or poultice, because he uses a lot of poultices in his healing work. And he's got a whole list, a catalog of every reading that he gave for anything. So you can
good one,
that
Phil.
site and type it in Magellan's or the
Morgellons, yeah.
see what comes up. because he was big on that.
Yeah,
Salves
'cause I was treating for that with the H2O2 and the copper 1 drops. And I had like little wire, green and red wire looking things popping out of my skin, but this is not doing that. There's nothing popping out. It's just it itches, and I look down and I'll have a beadlet of blood, and then if I touch it, it just starts bleeding. You know?
Right. So I would
Yeah.
type in your symptoms and
The
see.
body's trying to purify.
That's what
Exactly.
it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
The other thing is you need to be really careful what you eat right now. You know, like any processed meat, or
Like
anything.
I have choice in what I eat right now.
Anything processed is
Yeah.
going to react also with the GANs. So
There's a couple of people on Facebook, or I'm sorry, on YouTube. Jackie Burns is saying to use colloidal silver. Add maca, M-A-C-A, to your diet, powdered. Also, Gabrielle Williams is saying to mix 1/4 cup of coconut oil and 10 drops of lavender oil together. So you might want to check the comments on
Okay.
on YouTube.
I'll check that out too. I already have coconut and lavender oil. I
Good.
use that. Yeah, I make that myself.
Yeah, the coconut oil and lavender, that sounds like a good for soothing the skin.
It is. I love it. I make my own lavender bath salts too. I use powdered milk, Epsom salts, and crush my natural lavender down into it. Makes a kick-ass relaxing milk bath.
Oh yeah.
Well, I would still like to point as an totally different thing. Is like we have an ability to like help the body to get this material out of us. Actually, our body is not inside. You know, we are a whole universe inside, and it should be space, ethereal, the fifth element. And we have accumulated so much material that wants to get out, and that is actually what these new energies that are coming in are helping us to do. But we also need to help it. I would say, because I do anything that I can do to help it. And in the morning when I wake up, you know, I have stuff in my nose, I have stuff in my throat, I spit it out, I everything, you know, and funny enough, it's all the same color. And what color is that?
You tell us.
Brown?
Hello, are you yellow?
Mellow yellow, huh?
Oh man.
You know, one thing I've noticed that, you know, when I'm showering, you know, I'll make sure, you know, I wash up, I have a washcloth and I scrub. But even after I get done washing, I can run my fingernails over my skin and still come up with layers of skin that are coming off.
Dead skin, yeah.
Yeah. And no matter how hard I scrub, especially on my shoulders and my chest and on the bottom of my feet, I'm finding those are the places. No matter how hard I scrub, I'm still getting layers of skin.
And
also on my face too.
Well, I actually have figured it out, because it's a protection layer. You know, when you let me say, when you cut an apple, you know, it goes like only 20 minutes or something. It's gonna get brown to like protection. It's alive inside of us. So that actually also makes it more difficult to get it out, because it's alive, and it makes a protection layer. It tries everything it can to protect itself.
What is
Right.
it protecting me
This is the
from?
problem with viruses and bacteria, because they create a new, especially the coronavirus. It creates a new protein coat, you know, anytime it's attacked. So, well, they're just like us. we defend ourselves if we're attacked, right? So everything does that.
Wow, this is really wow. I love this.
Well, it looks like let's wrap it up at that point right there. Talking about dead skin cells. Regeneration, there's the positive part of it though, because they're constantly regenerating.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
And that's what we're all doing. So we're building a new light body is what we're all doing. So be sure to check out Phil's YouTube channel. I posted the link 3 times in the chat. People kept asking for it. You're welcome. And be sure to check out in5d.net for killer shirts like this if you like to support the
yeah,
channel.
I definitely have to get in there and I want to get one of your the 7 chakra one. I got to have one of those, man.
I got more of them coming up tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have them uploaded tomorrow on that channel. And then check out Patreon as well, patreon.com/in5d. Find all the links up here.
Hager wants to say something.
Okay.
Come on, Hager. You're muted.
Yes, now I'm unmuted.
No, you're good.
Okay.
You're good.
Hi everyone. I have a question. I don't know how to work with Patriots. I'm not internet. I want to do it the old-fashioned way. I want to order 7 chakra shirt, and I want to support you, but not. I want to send you money with money transfer. Is that also possible?
I'm sure we could work something out. Find a way to contact me.
Yeah, I have problems with. I think Microsoft doesn't like me anymore. I have problems with my email. I couldn't email Phil also. I hope he hears me.
I hear you.
Phil? Yeah, about the. I would send you my address. So this is the only way I can add something to.
Well, let's try this. Try emailing me here. I just sent you in private my email address. Try that first, and then the next time we're on here, if that doesn't work, we'll think of something else. Okay.
Okay.
All righty. Cool.
Yeah, and for me, Helga, I also have a Facebook account, so you can go there and message me.
I can't go. I can't. They block me, I think, on Facebook and on my. I can't even go in my laptop.
What about Twitter?
I don't have those things. I don't know how those things work.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
if I leave
are you on any
chat,
social media? Because if you are, I'll try to get onto it and contact you. Because yeah, I would love to give you a pyramid.
But Greg, I had to put my email address to attend this Zoom.
Yeah. Send me your email address and I'll contact you. Let's try it that way.
Okay. Do I? Okay. Okay.
Did you see that I sent you?
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to add my email address.
Okay.
I had to make a new one.
Okay.
So that's why. Oh,
and be sure to check your junk folder too, just in case, because you might find Phil's email in there too.
Yes.
Might get both of ours in there.
Yep.
Well, I actually don't remember receiving anything in email.
I haven't sent you anything yet.
Okay, well try
because
it.
I couldn't get into my account.
Okay. Oh, okay. Now I understand.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So
okay.
On my videos,
I can also add you here because you are here now, Phil. Yes. I can send you also my email address.
Yep.
Copy
and
message.
I just copied it myself.
Oh, can you send it for me to Phil, please?
Yeah, because you just sent it back to me. All right, so I'm sending it to Phil right now.
Okay. Oh, thank you so much.
You got it, Phil.
Okay.
Yes.
Can I send a little public service announcement?
Sure.
Real quick. Cool. So I just wanted to, during the end of the world apocalypse where we have no way to wipe our butts, maybe some viewers don't. And I know that they've told us that we can use old clothes and stuff, but I just wanted to share 2 things I learned in the Marine Corps. Because we often ran out of toilet paper and nobody cared. So you can take this, right? And go to the corner. And there you start getting some more. You unravel it. It's your toilet paper roll, right? And you can crinkle it up. Another thing, newspaper. So you can take your newspaper, right? But you don't want to use it like this. It's going to be rough, you know? Before you do your business, roll it up a little and into a ball, and that'll soften it up a lot so that then you have a couple sheets of toilet paper. And that's all I wanted to share.
Okay, well, you mentioned that about the toilet paper roll. You said crinkle it up, but you didn't say uncrinkle it. So for people that are watching, I think it'd be kind of painful if you left it crinkled. But if you weren't putting one and one together, make sure you uncrinkle the toilet paper roll once you unroll it all the way out.
Yes.
And, yeah.
Well, I would also point as a PSA that, you know, you're in the bathroom, you usually have the shower there. So you get off, do your business, and get into the shower and clean yourself off that way too, if you don't have any toilet paper. I mean, I know you don't want to have to do that every time you have any business to do, especially if it's in the morning, but you know, it's an option.
Yeah. So do we have anything else? We good? Helga? Did you mute yourself again? Oh, yeah, no, you're good. Okay. I saw your mouth open. You just weren't talking.
If we are creators, why don't we create that everything what we need, we have and we will have? Because the world around us is already in fear. Why don't we create that when we need toilet paper will be there when we are in the shops?
I think we're heading that way, because we're at that point where thoughts are becoming manifestations quicker and quicker. We're almost there right now where you can manifest.
Let us all, we are united. Let us try to go that way. Doesn't matter what happens around us. We know we can create the best of all. Let's do that. Let's seek the confirmation in each other, you know, and share, help, you know, but don't let us get, yeah, exactly.
We are co-creators, all of us.
Exactly. Also the bad ones, they are also part of us.
I'm with you. I'm in. Count me in. Speaking of which, just want to remind everyone too, tomorrow, be sure you take advantage of that meditation. Here it's 10:45 p.m. Eastern time, which is going to be like 3:45 in Europe, 7:45 p.m. Pacific time. It's going to be intense, and expect to feel like crown chakra activity when you're connecting with hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah,
you're going to feel it. The hair will stand up on your arms. It's going to be something special. You know, maybe we'll do a chat. Maybe we'll do a chat right before that, and then, you know, just get us all together, and then we'll get off and join the group meditation. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow too.
Oh, that would be very cool. I was thinking about doing that, Greg. So
like a pre-meditation kind of party.
Yeah, pre-meditation party, or getting us into the groove. I was thinking about using the picture, doing a screen share of that Earth in the flower of life pattern, and switching from the Earth as it is, the image of the Earth just as it is, and the image of the Earth with the pattern. That's about 10 minutes before.
Cool. Also, you might want to do some bowls and stuff like that. Anyone with bowls?
Oh yeah.
Down. Yeah, that'd be great. I think it'd be fun. I think we should plan on that.
Okay, cool. I'm down.
Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Always ready.
Thank you, co-creators.
Yes, thank you everyone for joining us here on Zoom as well as on YouTube. Love you all. Send you all infinite love and light.
Love you, love.
Till the next time, namaste. Love you all.
Namaste.
See you tomorrow, and look forward to doing that before it. We'll have like a little pre-party going on here. All right. So it's great. Yeah. Sounds good. See you then.
See you. Love you.
Love you all.
Yeah, much love to all.